Some matches aren't just fights, they become history. Battles where careers changed, legacies were written, and time stood still. Today, we're reliving the 35 matches that shaped WWE forever. Every moment, every impact, every unforgettable story. WWE isn't just about championships or rivalries, it's about moments that leave a mark, moments that fans carry with them for years. In this video, we're looking back at 35 matches that didn't just entertain, they changed everything. Every match on this list holds a story of struggle, sacrifice, and pure heart. Let's get into it. Number 35. Brock Lesnar vs. Roman Reigns vs. Seth Rollins, WrestleMania 31. When WrestleMania 31 rolled around, many fans expected a simple showdown between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. What they got instead was something much more thrilling, thanks to Seth Rollins and his Money in the Bank briefcase. The match itself was brutal from the start. Lesnar came in like a wrecking ball, tossing Reigns around the ring with suplex after suplex. Roman, however, kept fighting back, taking an insane amount of punishment but refusing to stay down. Just when it seemed Brock would put Roman away for good, the unexpected happened. Seth Rollins' music hit and the crowd erupted. Rollins sprinted to the ring, cashed in his contract, and suddenly the match turned into a triple threat. In a matter of minutes, chaos took over. Rollins delivered a stunning curb stomp to Brock and then pinned Reigns, stealing the WWE Championship in one of the most jaw-dropping moments in WrestleMania history. This match is so special because it broke the usual pattern. Instead of ending predictably, it gave fans a once-in-a-lifetime moment. As Seth Rollins himself later said in an interview, "Sometimes the best opportunities come when you least expect them. You just have to be ready to seize the moment." That night, Rollins seized it perfectly, creating a WrestleMania memory no one will forget. Number 34. Randy Savage vs. Ric Flair, WrestleMania 8. Randy Macho Man. Savage and Ric Flair are two legends you could listen to stories about for hours. Their WrestleMania 8 match wasn't just a clash of two great wrestlers, it was deeply personal. The buildup made this match even hotter. Flair claimed he had a past relationship with Savage's wife, Miss Elizabeth. It was classic dirty mind games, and Savage's fury felt real, not just for show. When they finally squared off, the energy was electric. Savage attacked Flair with wild aggression, while Flair used every dirty trick in his playbook, including a hidden foreign object and even bleeding heavily to sell the drama. Savage's ability to fire up the crowd was unmatched, and every time Flair tried to cheat his way out, Savage answered back with heart and fists. The ending felt perfect. Savage, despite all the pain and blood, managed to roll up Flair for the win, clutching the WWE Championship like it was his lifeline. The best part? Miss Elizabeth storming the ring afterward to celebrate, a genuine, emotional moment that gave the story its true payoff. As Randy Savage once said, "The cream always rises to the top." On that night, he proved it, not just with skill, but with raw passion you could feel through the screen. Number 33. Bret Hart vs. Owen Hart, WrestleMania. Ex-sibling rivalries are common in real life, but very few have ever been captured this perfectly inside a wrestling ring. Bret and Owen Hart told a story so real at WrestleMania 10 that fans didn't just watch it, they felt it. Owen, the younger brother, was tired of living in Bret's shadow, and when the match started, he wasn't trying to wrestle his brother, he was trying to beat him. The early minutes were filled with technical brilliance, reversals, counters, chain wrestling at its absolute finest. Owen worked on Bret's leg to weaken him for the sharpshooter, while Bret, selling the injury like only he could, struggled but refused to give in. It was a chess match with fists and holds instead of pawns and bishops. The ending shocked everyone. Owen caught Bret during a roll-up attempt and pinned him clean in the center of the ring. No cheating, no outside interference, just pure wrestling skill. Owen's celebration afterward felt raw and real. This was his moment in the sun. In an old interview, Bret Hart shared a gem. "Wrestling at its best is about, it was a chess match with fists and holds instead of pawns and bishops." The ending shocked everyone. Owen caught Bret during a roll-up attempt and pinned him clean in the center of the ring. No cheating, no outside interference, just pure wrestling skill. Owen's celebration afterward felt raw and real. This was his moment in the sun. In an old interview, Bret Hart shared a gem. "Wrestling at its best is about storytelling, not just moves." This match wasn't about flips or crazy spots. It was about pride, jealousy, family, and it was absolutely unforgettable. Number 32. Shawn Michaels vs. Ric Flair, WrestleMania 24. There are matches that thrill you and matches that break your heart. This one did both. Ric Flair's career was on the line at WrestleMania 24. The storyline was simple. If Flair lost, he would be forced to retire. His opponent? The man known as Mr. WrestleMania himself, Shawn Michaels. From the first bell, you could tell Shawn didn't want to hurt Flair but knew he had to. Flair, on the other hand, was fighting like a man with nothing to lose. Every chop, every move had extra weight behind behind it. Michaels tried to hold back but was eventually forced to take the gloves off. One of the most emotional moments in WWE history came right at the end. Flair, standing dazed and defenseless, motioned for Shawn to finish it. Shawn looked at him, teary-eyed, and whispered, "I'm sorry, I love you." Then he delivered the final sweet chin music, ending Flair's legendary career. The emotion was so real it felt like you were watching a father and son, not two wrestlers. Flair later admitted, "That wasn't acting, that was real. I didn't want it to end, but it was beautiful." Number 31, Kurt Angle vs. Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 21. When two of the best pure athletes in wrestling history step into the ring together, you expect magic. And at WrestleMania 21, Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels delivered exactly that. The match started slowly, almost cautiously. They sized each other up like chess masters, knowing that one mistake could cost everything. Michaels tried to rely on his speed and agility, while Angle kept it technical, targeting the legs to weaken Shawn's signature superkick. As the match built up, the pace quickened, and so did the drama. Michaels pulled out his flying elbow. Angle responded with suplexes that looked downright painful. Every time one man looked like he had it won, the other clawed his way back. In the end, after an exhausting war, Angle caught Michaels in the ankle lock. Shawn fought with everything he had, but eventually, with nowhere to go, he tapped out. The fans were stunned. Even in defeat, Michaels looked like a hero. Angle once said about this match, "Shawn brought out a side of me I didn't even know I had." WrestleMania 21 didn't just have a classic match, it had a masterpiece where heart and technique clashed in the purest form possible. Number 30, Eddie Guerrero vs. Brock Lesnar, No Way Out, 2004. If you want a match that captures the pure joy of an underdog finally winning big, look no further. At No Way Out 2004, Eddie Guerrero faced Brock Lesnar, a mountain of a man compared to Eddie's smaller, scrappier frame. Lesnar bullied Guerrero for much of the match. He threw him around the ring like a rag doll and used his strength to dominate every moment. But Eddie wasn't there to be squashed. His resilience, his cleverness, and his sheer will kept him alive. The turning point came when Goldberg interfered, spearing Brock out of nowhere. Guerrero seized the moment. With the crowd roaring, he hit a frog splash from the top rope and pinned Lesnar clean. Eddie's celebration after the match, hugging the WWE Championship, tears in his eyes, remains one of the most emotional scenes in WWE history. Eddie once said, "I may not be the biggest, but my heart is the strongest." That night, he proved it beyond any doubt. It wasn't just a victory for Eddie. It was a victory for every fan who ever rooted for the little guy to finally win. Number 29, CM Punk vs. John Cena, Money in the Bank, 2011. Few matches have captured a real-life feeling of rebellion the way Punk vs. Cena did at Money in the Bank, 2011. Going into the match, Punk was about to leave WWE, and he made it clear he planned to take the WWE Championship with him. It wasn't just a storyline, it felt personal. In Chicago, CM Punk's hometown, the crowd was deafening. Every move Cena made was booed mercilessly, while Punk was treated like a rock star. The match itself was a roller coaster. Cena fought clean, Punk fought smart. Reversals, big moves, near falls. It kept fans on the edge every second. When Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis tried to interfere and cost Punk the match, Cena stopped them, wanting a fair fight. That moment of hesitation cost him. Punk nailed the GTS and pinned Cena, winning the title, and immediately ran through the crowd to escape. Punk later joked, "I didn't just break." It was a chess match with fists and holds instead of pawns and bishops. The ending shocked everyone. Owen caught Bret during a roll-up attempt and pinned him clean in the center of the ring. No cheating, no outside interference, just pure wrestling skill. Owen's celebration afterward felt raw and real. This was his moment in the sun. In an old interview, Bret Hart shared a gem. Wrestling at its best is about storytelling, not just moves. This match wasn't about flips or crazy spots. It was about pride, jealousy, family, and it was absolutely unforgettable. Number 28, The Shield versus the Wyatt family, Elimination Chamber 2014. Sometimes you can just feel that something big is about to happen. When The Shield met the Wyatt family at Elimination Chamber 2014, fans knew it was going to be special. Both groups were dominant in their own ways. The Shield, with their tactical precision, and the Wyatts with their creepy, chaotic violence. The moment they stood face to face before the bell even rang, the crowd was already chanting, "This is awesome," and they were right. The match was pure chaos. Bodies flying everywhere, brutal team moves, and the kind of hard-hitting action that makes you wince. Bray Wyatt's presence was magnetic. Roman Reigns looked like an absolute powerhouse, and Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins bumped like madmen. In the end, the Wyatt family picked up the win, but in truth, both teams came out looking stronger than ever. Seth Rollins once said about this clash, "It felt like a battle of two unstoppable forces, and something had to break." What broke was the idea that six-man tags couldn't be main event level, because this one absolutely was. Number Number 27, Stone Cold, Steve Austin vs. Dude Love. Over the Edge, 1998. Sometimes the magic of wrestling comes from pure chaos, and Stone Cold Steve Austin facing Dude Love at Over the Edge 1998 was pure, brilliant madness. With Vince McMahon as the special guest referee, Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe interfering at every chance, and Austin fighting like hell against the odds, the match was built on total anarchy. Every moment felt unpredictable. Austin wasn't just battling Dude Love, he was fighting the entire system. Steel chairs flew, tables broke, and the fans ate up every second. At the end, after dodging every trick McMahon threw at him, Austin delivered a stunner to Dude Love, knocked Vince out cold, and made his own count to win the match. Stone Cold later said, "That night, it wasn't just a title on the line, it was me flipping off the whole machine. This wasn't just a wrestling match, it was Stone Cold's revolution in full swing." Number 26, Brock Lesnar vs. CM Punk, SummerSlam 2013. On paper, Brock Lesnar vs. CM Punk looked unfair. Brock was a beast, Punk was tough but smaller. Yet what happened at SummerSlam 2013 was one of the most brutal, intense fights WWE had seen in years. Punk fought with everything he had, using speed, cleverness, and raw anger. He targeted Brock's legs and tried to keep moving, but every time Brock caught him, it looked devastating. At one point, Punk locked in a triangle choke so tight that the monster Lesnar actually looked worried. But in the end, Paul Heyman's interference gave Brock the opening to crush Punk with an F5 and steal the win. Afterward, Punk said, "I gave it everything, and sometimes that's still not enough, but you fight anyway." It wasn't about winning, it was about showing that heart can make even a giant bleed. Number 25, Bret Hart vs. Mr. Perfect, SummerSlam 1991. Two of the smoothest wrestlers ever, Bret Hart and Mr. Perfect, put on a clinic at SummerSlam 1991 that still holds up today. This wasn't about big, flashy moves. It was about storytelling, technique, and making every single move count. Bret targeted Perfect's legs, wearing him down step by step. Perfect, injured but cocky, fought back with everything he had. There's a moment when Bret catches Perfect's foot mid-kick and turns it into a sharpshooter, and you can literally feel the crowd lose their minds. Bret made him tap, winning his first Intercontinental Championship and solidified himself as a rising star. Bret later reflected, "I wasn't just wrestling perfect that night, I was proving to everyone that I belonged on top." This match wasn't just about two greats showing off, it was about a changing of the guard. No